I just want to say to those of you in the audience and at home, that unlike other things that I do in my life and at work, this is actually a safe for work presentation. It's okay to watch with your boss in the room. Anyway, so yes, it's a provocative title because we were really just trying to get into the conference. It's really pretty dull after this. So I appreciate a great crowd here at 4:30 on a Wednesday. So. Yeah, so why visualize? I mean, you know, as our friends at GIST say, it's an almost physical depiction of data. You know, visualizations are wonderful things and they can be overused, but you know, it's kind of a nice way to, an additional way to represent things. So, yeah, oh my God, chemistry, what? I just threw this in today because when I came in here yesterday to have a look at the AV setup, I thought, my God, it's like being in chem class in college. So I also wanted to point out that this is also a very nice way to represent an amazing amount of information. I won't go through how it is arranged, but because we won't get through it in the allotted time. But you know, I think we've seen this for years, and it is fantastic. I have a little bit of a love affair with the periodic table, but anyway. So the other thing is that you know visualizations can be used to get an amazing amount of information across, but they can also be used to show proportion. I mean, I'm sorry to the Irish in the crowd, but Ireland is not represented on here. I think if it was chopped up, it could be wedged in, it would all fit. But anyway, but you know, you think, okay, where I live, the United States, and I live in one of the larger states, you know, I think, okay, this is a sizable state, having driven across it a few times, or sizable state and country, having driven across it a few times, but putting it in the middle of Africa is pretty, you know, eye-opening. Holy crap, that is a huge continent. Anyway, and I'm not completely admitting my ignorance as an American of geography and whatever. But anyway, so I, you know, bring this to you as an example of proportion, which we will get to later. But you know, why ETDs? And you know, the thing was really about, the title was about institutional repositories, but we're talking about ETDs specifically. And yes, this was not really a shameless plug to get in, but this is the Sarah Shreve's thing. So yeah, it's kind of a layered little bit of ugliness that I've just noticed. But anyway, so you know, basically ETDs are hidden gems, and unless you're Russia or China and you are beating the hell out of our servers overnight, I think most people would know, oh, Philippines have joined in on the fun too. They really like the nursing articles. Anyway, you know, most people wouldn't find them, they wouldn't think about them. So we were looking for ways to make them more accessible to people. And you know, the other thing, I'm sure people are wondering, why does anybody care what a repository looks like since everybody just goes through Google Scholar anyway? Well, yes, I get it, I can see that. But the other thing is that, you know, people do browse, people do come in through the actual interface, so this is for that limited and proud group. So this is a bit about our environment. DSpace, we've had it since 2013. We're now on 5.5, and I am excited about the changes coming in 6, and looking forward to 7 and its challenges. But anyway, up until really early last year, we didn't have that much in our ETD collection. We only went back to like 1990, or back to, 2002. I was overestimating what we have, only been there a year and a half, so don't quiz me completely on it. But everything else was bound and on the shelves in special collections, and as I think of it, is bound and gagged because no one's actually going to go to special collections and have a look. All right, anyway. As long as I'm not being pulled off the stage like late night at the Apollo, we'll continue. Anyway, so currently we have over 7,600 ETGs now dating back to 1990.
So that alarm is really the fire alarm.
Oh.
Hopefully it will be somebody else's built. I would think it would
Do not collect personal belongings.
Oh, yeah. Stop.
It's still supposed to be until the tenants come back in.
Everybody's just kind of hanging out in the hallway back here, so you may not actually have to make your way all the way down the stairs now that it's stopped. Or you want to just hang tight and see what.
Well, no, gravitationally, I like to stay at the same physical level.
Yes.
The amount of walking is about 1.5 miles or 2 miles to my hotel.
Oh, my
It's suddenly
Ooh,
getting
taking
to
its
me.
toll. Yes, I'm
Yes.
sure. That's a long job. Oh, and here everybody comes back. Okay, all right. I was just to get the mood moving.
Where are all the people in the auditorium? Welcome back to part 2 of this session. Apparently it was one of the developers set off the fire alarm by compiling too many things in their life. So I think it actually speaks to the quality of this conference that everyone came back rather than going to the pub. So,
We will not have a quiz over the first 4 slides.
You were on fire.
Yes, I'm up here smoking. Really wish I could have used the loo while I was out. But anyway, so moving right along, in the process of this visualization thing, this visualization nonsense, we experience the benefits internally and externally. Internally, we had an increased visibility of our metadata problems, which I'm sure people are thinking, ooh, yes, I'm aware of those. And we had some external benefits as well, and an alternate browsing experience. What else do I have on the list here? let's say you compare department output and ETDs as a recruitment tool for prospective students. Recruitment tool, what? But for prospective students, that way they can easily see what the output is of previous students. And we can also kind of start a little bit of a battle between the departments and colleges of who has the larger output for ETD. So we haven't bothered to go around and survey people on that, but I have had anecdotal response from our reference librarians that people like it. It's kind of fun and interesting to use. So before, it's kind of difficult to find the departments and to know what was what. So, which you'll see here in a moment. This is just a little example of what we had going on with our metadata issues. We had, oh, all right. Our little friend, the period. Now you see it, now you don't. And so, and also in the instance of the animal and range sciences, we actually had 4 iterations of this because we had ampersand, no ampersand, period, no period. So it was kind of a crapshoot to figure out really where all the papers were and what was what. You had to go in like 4 different locations. So it was kind of a mess. And so in the process, Layla, my co-author, just went through the process of exporting the information, cleaning it up, and got it from 164 down to a very sprightly 69. So the changes as a result that we made to DSpace were we cleared up the missing terms in the metadata, we loaded the metadata back in, which actually was a fairly reasonable process, not too painful. And to get rid of all that and, no ands, period, no period, nonsense, I added some drop downs to clean up our data entry process, which in turn improved our cataloging time, which is a nice benefit. And so you're thinking, again, you haven't actually seen this to know why I'm asking this, but why the wheel? Well, why are you asking why the wheel? Because I was playing a little slide jumble before I came here this afternoon. I was also thinking it would be a lovely feature of PowerPoint if they had kind of a randomizer, so it'd be sort of fun. I would know what was coming next. Whoa, hey, okay, that's what we're talking about. But anyway, okay. So we're getting to it. We're finally getting to the meat of the matter here. Why the wheel? There's the wheel. That's somebody else's wheel. That's not my wheel. Because you know what I like to do? I like to reinvent the wheel. And yes, I had a 20-hour travel day just to make that little crack. Anyway, so I've had this job for like a year and a half, and I've been hearing the whole time, no, we really like that time. Should we just move over to digital accounts so we can get the color wheel? Like, really? Okay. So why don't you just send me to wherever I came from, and you can just move on over to digital commons. Anyway, so the issue, if there are digital commons folks in the room, I'm sorry. Anyway, the issue, as you may know, with digital commons is it's not open source, which is, what is this conference? It's not the closed repositories conference. And you also need to be a part of the club. And I'm not much of a joiner, so you know, I say boo on them. But the thing of it is that those stinkers are using subjects and other things, you know, as part of their thing. Well, let me show you why we're not using subjects. Because we have over 11,000 of these. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. We've got a little bit of an issue in our subject keyword area. So, as a little reminder, we have 7,600 items. So that's really 1+ subject per item. So if I were to do a wheel of that, It'd be a really hideous wheel, and it'd be a pain in the ass to click on. So, anyway, I just highlighted some nuggets here, like my favorite, and that's too small for me, is, I don't know why these all came together, but health attitudes, rural women, and smartphones. I'm not sure what that's saying about things. No, that's not all just one, that's not one paper. But anyway, just happened to be that those were all together. And we subsequently removed subjects from our browsing navigation interface because you'd pull up subjects and everything would just have one next to it. So it didn't make for a very exciting browsing experience. So then these are the other browsing options that we have. We've got college, we've got department and research center. I'm sure all this looks familiar to you. Anyway, so this is our version. So we have it neatly arranged by college in the middle, then department, and then by year on the outer rim. And I also have linking tooltips that update accordingly. So here's our version, yay, open source. We're using D3.js, and all the code is on GitHub. And we're moving right along, so I'm probably going to get the finger from Rob here pretty soon. So anyway, so considerations. Start with a flat file rather than JSON, which is actually, if anybody's done anything with D3, love the JSON. And what's the easiest thing to export out of DSpace? The CSV. So this kind of saves me a little time and effort and energy, and that's really what it's all about. So we had to use TSP because we had a stinker of a college that had a comma in it. And so when you do a thing, it's like, oh, so you got a college of education. No, we do not. It's all bundled in as one. And then we also wanted to sort by year rather than by value, which is also a D3 thing. Like, oh, we want that. We want to know. No, you don't. So here's the process, basically. So I found because I'm all about borrowing code and not doing it myself, getting back to me having more time for fire alarms and whatever. So I found an XML parser, a thing that, it's not an XML parser, that comes later. This thing pulls stuff out of SOAI, basically. And then we parse it, we chop it up, find the bits that we need. I had to use XOAI instead of the regular default Dublin core because we had department in a strange place. So that was a lot of fun. This is what the TSV looks like. It's pretty basic stuff. But the other thing is that to make a sunburst, you have to have things in a hierarchical format, which is counter to the TSV, CSV thing, which is flat. So we're going from flat to fabulous here. So, and we use the D3 built-in nesting thing, and anyway, so then we basically do a roll-up, and it runs through the whole thing, counts by department, counts by college, year, so forth. How am I doing, Rob? Nope. And then the ugly bit for me was adding the tooltips, because that was kind of a pain in the ass, because as you know, when you pull things out of DSpace, it doesn't give you the URL with it, so I built it, and it was a little ugly. And then to keep it up to date, I used my friend the cron job, so then I can just set it and forget it, and I don't have to think about it anymore, just like my hair. So, anyway, and you'll notice, and every Thursday, I will probably get one, probably Friday morning here, I get a little report out that it's run through all of everything that's in DSpace, and it gives me a report out. This is our most recent. We have 7,611 records. And then last year, for those of you who were here last year, rather Indianapolis last year. You may have been here last year, I don't know. Anyway, I made a punch card kind of thing, but that used a different data type last year. That used the D3 friendly JSON, which I had to make, and it was a pain. So this one, I redid it, and it's using the same TSV file as the Sunburst. So this is two different ways to display the same information. So this gives you kind of a nice timeline, starting at 1900 and going, northward there. And this is also set up by size. So apparently we've got quite the cluster of activity and, what is that, some kind of science education thing. Anyway, and I've also included panning and zooming, so this is a little easier to navigate than last year's. So the next steps are usability testing, doing, maybe another visualization because I love it. That includes the rest of our ScholarWorks instance, and then I have the joy of moving on to the digital collections, which will be for a different conference entirely. So anyway, that's kind of what I have for you, but I do have one little nugget here since I'm in Ireland. Well, let me show you this. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is how it behaves in real life. And so I click, and then I can click, and then I can also use this as a navigation thing. And so it just go in here, and then I can pick a date. And here it is. And it will just take me right to that particular thing, right there. And then the punch card. Is this going to make a liar out of me? Yes, of course it is. Come on. So there's the zooming feature. Like, whoa, that's some big dots. I know, thank you. So anyway, because we're in Ireland and I happen to catch this, I don't know, recently, and I'm sure those of you who are from here.
UCC from the depths of hell are pouring through.